We'll start in Shavasana, stretching the legs out. And keep the arms by the sides. If it feels good, turn the palms up. Shake the legs a little bit and allow the feet to flop outwards. And take a few moments to really come into your space. Just feeling the body completely relaxed, lying down on the floor. Not just your weight pressing down into the ground, but also the earth pressing up against you, holding you in this space. Start to notice the natural, steady breath flowing in and out of the nose. Notice the sensation of the breath as it comes in through the nose. And the sensation of the breath as you exhale, perhaps noting a difference between the air that you inhale and the air that you exhale. With every inhale, feel that you are coming into yourself, expanding, creating space in the body. With every exhale, feel yourself letting go a little bit more into the ground. Now start to come into your abdominal breath. So pay particular attention to the belly breath, noticing how your abdomen rises as you inhale and falls as you exhale. Feel the space between the breaths, the bottom of the exhale, feeling a moment of stillness, a pause, before the next breath starts to rise, expand. And again at the top of the inhale, noticing a pause. Feeling yourself surrendering into this rhythm. If you like, you can bring one hand onto the heart, one hand onto the belly. Come into a 3-part breath. Option, if you like, to bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together and come into reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana, allowing the knees to come out wide. If this is too much, you can make fists with the hands and place them under the outside of the thighs. And coming into our 3-part breath now, let's exhale all the air from the lungs. Inhale into the belly, up into the ribs, up into the chest, and exhale from the chest to the ribs, to the belly. Inhale into the belly, up into the ribs, up into the chest. Again, the pause at the top of the breath. Exhale from the chest to the ribs, to the belly, and pausing. Continue this a couple of times at your own pace. Feeling the hips open up. Feeling every breath spreading all the way through the body. When you get to the end of your next exhale, take the hands to the outsides of the legs. Slowly bring the knees together. Keep the knees glued together and walk the feet to the outsides of the mat so the knees knock in towards the center. And just shake out the feet. We'll bring our knees in towards the chest, wrap the arms around the legs, give yourself a hug. Rocking from side to side, feeling that connection. The lower back on the ground, giving yourself a massage here. And then from here, straighten your left leg back down onto the ground and keep the right leg bent in. Just pausing here for a second, feeling the opening on the front of the left hip. If it feels good, you can bring that right leg out to the side. Maybe even use your left hand to press the left hip down into the ground, grounding through the left side. And on your next inhale, bring the knee back to center. And as you exhale, straighten your right leg up into the air. Take hold of a point on the back of your right leg, back of the thigh, the calf, or even the toes, or use a strap if you have it. And then you'll start to draw your leg in towards your body. Check in with your left leg, keeping it nice and engaged, pressing the back of the knee into the ground. Flex the left foot. Make sure it's fully engaged here. And remember, the more you engage the top of the right thigh, the more the back of the right thigh will start to release. So you can really engage into that quad muscle. One more breath here. Now from here, we'll just take a couple breaths to move your right leg towards the left, crossing it over your midline, keeping it straight, just a little bit, not all the way, just a little bit, just until you start to feel a sensation on the outside of your right leg. Ever so slightly extending here. And then on your next inhale, bring your leg back to center. As you exhale, come into half happy baby. Your right knee will come to the outside of your ribs. Foot above the knee. Come into half happy baby, lifting that foot up into the air. Again, the left hand can stay on your left hip, pressing down. You can keep a bend in the right knee. That's it. And align your ankle right above the knee. So right ankle above the knee. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, come into a twist. So you bring your right leg all the way over to the left side, this time keeping the knee bent. See if you can ground your shoulders on the earth. Keep your right arm out to the side. And then come into a twist, just allowing your right knee to come down towards the ground. Deep breaths into the belly. Last exhale here. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your knee into the chest. Let's bring the left knee into the chest as well. Wrap your arms around, rocking from side to side, giving yourself a hug. And then straighten out your right leg onto the ground, keeping the left knee bent in towards the chest. Keep squeezing it in. Engage through the right leg, pressing it down into the ground. Feeling that opening through the front of the right hip. So if it feels good, take your leg out towards the left side. You can use your right hand to press into the right hip, keeping it down and grounded. Feeling the full length of your spine on the ground. And then bring your leg back up to center, and this time we'll straighten it. We'll straighten it up into the air. Engage through the front of the thigh, pressing the backs of the knees back Also finding engagement in the right leg. Just working into this hamstring stretch here. Deep, steady breaths, using every single breath to go deeper into yourself, into your experience. Using these postures and the sensation they provide as a portal into deeper connection. From here, we'll take the left leg just slightly over towards the right, just crossing the midline. Keep the leg straight, just bringing it slightly over. Just pausing there. So you feel a slight sensation on the outside of the left leg, opening into the outsides of the hips here. Keep pressing out through the soles of the feet. On your next inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, you'll come into half happy baby. So bend your knee, bring the knee to the outside of your rib cage, and then bring the foot up to the sky, aligning the ankle above your knee. So knee is bent. Bringing your knee in towards the armpit, keeping the foot aligned vertically right above the knee. And then check in with your right leg, make sure it's pressing down into the ground. Notice your breath. Notice again the pauses in between the breath. Take our last inhale here. Now as you exhale, we'll come into our twist. So left leg all the way over to the right side, keeping the knee bent. Now ground through your shoulders, reaching your left arm out to the side, gaze follows. Notice how the breath feels right now. Deep twist. Feeling the breath spiraling down through the center, cleansing and purifying through this posture. Last exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Bring both knees into the chest. And exhale as you bring your knees into chest. Bring your forehead up to meet your knees, really rounding out here. Taking a couple deep breaths into the back body and feeling that pressure, that contact between your body and the ground. Apanasana. Take your hands to the backs of the thighs and start to rock up and down the length of the spine. Rocking a few times before eventually coming to seated pose. So here we are in seated pose. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up through the spine, roll your shoulders a few times, lubricating the shoulder joints, rolling them back and forward. You can start to bring that movement into the wrists as well, making circles with the wrists, finding a snake-like movement with the arms, maybe even finding a dance here. Exploring the space. Perhaps your neck gets involved as you roll around, finding some circles here, feeling your body, feeling all the sensations that are speaking to you right now. Coming into some free movement. And then we'll take the hands to the knees. And come into some circles with the spine. So on an inhale, shift your weight forward, open through the chest, roll shoulders back. As you exhale, circle round to the left, coming all the way to the back as you exhale. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, circling, spiraling around the axis of the spine. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, making this how you like, free expression. One more full spiral of the spine before coming to the other side. Really feeling that full expression here. And then eventually we'll come to stillness. Full easy pose. Finding straightness with the spine, length in the back of the neck. Peace and relaxation in the face. And we'll open the next phase of our class with the sound of Om. Take an inhale to exhale. And inhale for Om. The theme of this practice is expansion. And for this, we can feel it physically and use that physical expression of the expansion, the space that we are creating in our body, to really feel it mentally as well. Space between the thoughts, space between the breaths. We'll come into some condor wings here. Inhale, open out your wings to the side. Really lift and open up through the chest. As you exhale, round through the back of the shoulders and bring the palms together like you're flapping your wings. Inhale, open out through the chest, wings come back. Exhale, rounding out, bring the palms together, round out, chin to chest, everything curling in. Inhale, open, really opening out. And exhale, rounding out, wings come in. One more time, inhale, expanding out, feeling whole body expand, whole mind expand. Exhale, rounding out. And we'll come into our pranayama for today, which is our Brahmari breath, a humming bee breath. So a few different options. The simplest is to bring your hands onto your knees. This breath is a audible exhale, making a humming sound. So taking a deep inhale like this, and exhale. And then we have the option, if you like, to place the thumbs into the ears with the hands up above the head. So closing down the ears as well, feeling that sound. We'll take 3 more breaths. The hands are up, slowly bring them down and feel the effects of this pranayama, creating space in the thoughts, peace in the mind. And slowly start to open the eyes, taking in the world around you, taking in the tiny details that make up this moment. And with mindfulness, roll over the legs and come onto hands and knees, tabletop position. Making sure the wrists are aligned underneath the shoulders, the knees are aligned underneath the hips, spread the fingers out wide. Coming into some cat-cow. On an inhale, lower the belly, take the gaze forward, roll the shoulders back. As you exhale, curl the tailbone, rounding out, pressing into the ground, head comes down. Inhale, open up, belly comes down, open through the chest. And exhale, rounding out, pressing into the ground. Continue a couple more of these at your own pace. Feel free to cycle and circle around if it feels good. Going with this theme of expansion. The most important thing is to be aware of our restrictions. So being super tuned in to the messages that are coming from our body, the sensation that we feel, noticing where that stagnation is. Then we are able to move into it, to expand that area, to send our breath there. And then we'll come back to our tabletop position, lengthen out through the tailbone, lengthen out through the crown of the head. On an inhale, raise your right leg back behind you. Staying in your tabletop with the left knee down. That's it. Inhale, raise your right leg back behind you. Exhale, knee into the chest, squeezing it in. Inhale, lifting up and back. Exhale, knee into chest. And be mindful of the hips, keeping the hips in line. Inhale, reaching back. And exhale, knee into chest. We'll keep this motion going. Option to lift the left arm up at the same time. Inhale, lifting left arm. Exhale, knee into chest. Inhale, reaching through fingertips to toes. Exhale, elbow and knee in. Find core strength. Inhale, keep core drawing up. Exhale, one more time. Inhale, keep squeezing in through the core. Beautiful. Exhale, drawing in. Now replace the left hand down. Inhale, reach your right leg all the way back. And as you exhale, you'll cross it over towards the left side. So cross it back behind you, touching the toes onto the ground. That's it. Now lift the heel up to the sky and align the hips with one another so that the left hip is right above the left knee. So left knee on the ground. Beautiful. Opening out through the right side here. Inhale, lift the right arm up into the air, lifting, 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 feeling that expansion coming through the chest. Exhale, both hands come down, replace the knees onto the ground, finding your tabletop. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back, keep the hips aligned. Exhale, knee into chest, rounding out, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Feel that core engagement. Inhale, reaching up and back. And exhale, knee into chest, squeezing it in. Inhale, reaching up and back. Lengthen through your whole body. And exhale, squeezing it in. This time, option. Inhale, lift the right arm up as well, lengthening fully. And exhale, elbow and knee, squeezing it, waking up our core. Inhale, reaching up and back. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, reaching up and back. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze in, feeling that core awakening. Now place your right hand down on the ground. Inhale, lift the left leg up again. And exhale, cross it over back behind you, touching the toe on the ground. Now check in with the hips, bring them in, up in line with the knee. And then option, if you like, to inhale, lift the left arm up into the air, expanding fully, opening everything, Feeling your wings reaching out into the space. Deep breath. One more inhale. And exhale, hands come down. Going back into your tabletop. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, tuck your toes, shift your weight back, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So spread the fingers wide here, pressing down especially into the inside edge of the hands. You can check the distance between the hands and the feet by coming forward into plank. You should be able to come forward into a full plank here with the arms straight. And then shift your weight back into downward facing dog. There shouldn't be too much adjustment between the hands and the feet here. So taking a couple more breaths in your downward facing dog, really press the fingers down, full hands in contact, squeeze the belly in, lengthen through the spine as you lift your tailbone up and back, pressing the heels down. Last breath here. Now slowly start to walk up between the hands. Taking a slow walk when the toes are in line with the fingertips. Take an inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. You can keep the knees bent if it feels good. You can let the head hang. Hold on to opposite elbows if you like. Sway from side to side. Now bend your knees really deeply and take a couple of breaths to roll all the way up to stand. Roll the shoulders up and back, Tadasana. Beautiful mountain pose. Breathing deep, feeling that centeredness, feeling your own presence here. Become aware of the feel of the ground underneath you and the way that all of the little muscles in your feet are working to keep you stable. Engage the thighs slightly, bringing the kneecaps up. And almost energetically create some space between the inner thighs so that you have a bit of space for your tailbone to reach down towards the ground as your lower abdomen presses up and in, drawing in. Here we can engage Mula Bandha, drawing up on our pelvic floor. Noticing the engagement of Uddiyana Bandha every time we exhale, drawing that abdomen in and up. And then Jalandhara Bandha at the throat, lengthening the back of the neck, almost like someone is standing behind us and drawing gently back on our ears. Slight tuck of the chin. Find your Ujjayi breath. Constricting the back of the throat like the sound of the ocean waves. We'll come into our classical sun salutations. So take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center, bringing them into prayer in front of the heart. As you inhale, reach the arms up and back. Take a slight back bend, opening through the heart. As you exhale, dive down with the arms in front of you, flat back. Inhale, take the right leg back all the way to the back of the mat, lower the knee, point the toe, low lunge. Exhale here, we'll pause here for a couple of breaths. Check with your left leg, make sure that the ankle is right underneath your knee, so your shin is vertical. Deep breaths into the hips. Take an inhale here. Step your left foot back to plank. As you exhale, lower just your knees and then your chest, your chin, keeping the hips up. Beautiful. Inhale, slide forward, come into baby cobra, lifting the chest off the ground, roll the shoulders back. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your right foot between your hands. Lower your back knee down. Exhale here. Make sure your front knee is aligned above the ankle. Shifting your foot forward if you need to. And breathing into the hips. Notice that what happens if you slightly engage your inner thighs, squeezing them together, almost like a pair of scissors, slightly closing. Feeling that engagement at the same time as feeling that opening. Take an inhale here, tuck the back toes, and as you exhale, step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, rise all the way up, lift the arms up to the sky, take a slight back bend, open through the chest. Exhale, coming back to center. Let's take an inhale here. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up and back, open through the chest. Exhale, hands come all the way down and we flow forwards. Inhale, the left foot steps all the way back, lower the knee down, point the toe. Step the right foot back to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin down. Inhale, forwards to cobra, lift the chest up. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps between the hands, lower the back knee, point the toe, open the chest. Exhale, right foot steps forward and fold. Inhale, swooping the arms all the way up, slight back bend, lifting the chest up. Exhale, relax the arms. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up and back, feeling that expansion all the way through the body. Exhale, contract, fold forwards. Inhale, right foot steps all the way back, find your low lunge, open through the chest. Step the left foot back to plank. And exhale, knees, chest, chin down. Inhale, forward, baby cobra, lifting that chest up, rolling shoulders back. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right foot steps forwards, lower the back knee, open the chest. Exhale, left foot steps forward and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, open through the chest, back bend. Exhale, coming to center. Inhale here. Pause, exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, reaching all the way up and back, open through the chest. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, left foot steps all the way back, lower your knee, open through the chest. Step the right foot back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin come down, squeezing the elbows in. Inhale, forwards to cobra, really feeling that expansion in the chest. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, left foot between the hands, lower the back knee, point the toe. Exhale, right foot between the hands, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, open through the chest. And exhale, coming to center. Beautiful. Come into some variations of the sun salutation now. So let's take another deep inhale here. As you exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up and back. Back bend, opening through the chest. Exhale, fold forward, engage your core, flat back, Uttanasana. Inhale, right foot steps back. This time lift your back knee off the ground, so you're in a high lunge. And we'll rise all the way up into that high lunge. Lift the arms up. Exhale, pausing here. Squeeze the inner thighs, just like we did before, almost like a pair of scissors slightly closing. Squeeze up through the lower abdomen. Feel your Mula Bandha drawing up, your Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, beautiful. Lift up. Exhale, hands come down. Step all the way back to plank. And choice, lower knees, chest, chin, or you can come into a full chaturanga if it feels good. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps between the hands. Keep the back knee lifted and rise all the way up. High lunge. Lifting the arms up into the air. Exhale here. Again, finding engagement in the inner thighs, drawing up through the pelvic floor, through the belly, opening through the chest, feeling that breath expanding through your whole body. Beautiful. Feeling that power, feeling that life force feeding you. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands down, step forward to forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, slight back bend. And exhale, release the hands. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up and back, slight back bend. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, left foot steps back to high lunge, keeping the back knee lifted. Rise all the way up, lifting the arms up into the air. Exhale here. Let's ground through the back heel this time and come into warrior one. So the back heel is down, hips face towards the front. So feeling that warrior one, chest faces forward, press strong into the outside edge of your back foot. Come forward on your front knee slightly, draw up on your pelvic floor, drawing up on your abdomen. Beautiful. Option here to press the palms together and then bend the elbows, bringing the hands back behind the shoulders. Keeping the elbows up into the air, the hands between the shoulder blades. Opening up through the triceps here. Beautiful. On your next inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bring your hands down or step back, find your plank. You can lower knees, chest, chin down, or chaturanga if you feel good. Inhale, forwards to cobra, roll shoulders back. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. So good. Let's take a breath here before the other side. So spread the hands wide, pressing into the inside edge of your hands, especially the thumb side. And then engage your core as you lift your tailbone high into the sky, lengthening through the spine. Beautiful. Let's come into the other side. Inhale as your left foot steps between the hands. Lifting the arms up into the air. As you exhale, ground through the back heel, warrior one. Beautiful. So facing forward here. Check in with your hips, try and turn them towards the front. Beautiful. Come forward a little bit on your front knee. Ground through the back edge of the back foot. Option, if you like, to bend your elbows. Keep the elbows up into the air as you bring your hands back between the shoulders. Opening up into the fronts of the triceps there, into the chest. One more breath, feeling that openness, that expansion in the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down, step forward, fold. Uttanasana. Let's hold it here. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Full forward fold this time. Option to bind if you like. And take the hands back behind the knees, holding onto opposite elbows if you like. Just allow the head to be heavy. Maybe even sway from side to side. Just let everything surrender here. Notice how, as you engage the front of the thighs, the back of the thighs will release. And release the bind. Bend your knees deeply and slowly roll up to stand, vertebra by vertebra, going all the way up. Roll the shoulders up to the ears and back. So beautiful. So we'll have one more variation here of our classical sun salutations. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra, finding that prayer at the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up and back. Feel that expansion, that space in the chest, in the heart. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, the right foot steps all the way back. We'll come to our high lunge again. Rise all the way up. As you exhale now, come into warrior two. So ground through the back heel and open the hips out. Arms parallel with the ground. Front knee aligned above ankle. Press strong through that back edge of the back foot. And then find your Mula Bandha. So draw up through your pelvic floor. Feel how that lengthens, straightens the lower back. Feeling that power within you. And as you feel that concentration of energy inside, you're also feeling that burst out to the edges of your space, extending all the way through the fingertips, lifting up through the crown of the head, occupying that space, expanding into that space, feeling powerful, feeling radiant. On your next inhale, lift your left arm up, come to reverse warrior, and exhale, pause here, bend even more into the front knee. Beautiful. Breathe into all the spaces between the ribs. Feeling your aliveness in this moment. Last inhale here. As you exhale, come back into your warrior two. So inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach forward and down, keeping the hips open, triangle pose. If you like, you can take the gaze forward or up into the air. Engage your front thigh, releasing the back of the thigh. Breathing into the space between the ribs. Every single breath an opportunity for more openness, more clarity. What is it that you're rising above right now? How can you express this in your posture? One more inhale here. Exhale, bring both hands down. So we're going to shift the legs a little bit and come into pyramid pose. So walk your back foot forward about a foot, straighten the front leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold here. Keeping the hips aligned. Draw back slightly on the left hip. Deep, steady breaths, breathing into the space between the vertebrae. If you're enjoying this, you can stay there. Otherwise, option to come into revolved triangle. So the right hand stays on the ground, on top of, or to the outside of the left foot. The left hand can come onto the sacrum. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, twist towards the left. Beautiful. Press into the back foot a little bit, evening the weight between the feet. Option, if you like, to lift your wings up into the air, feeling full expansion here through the chest. Feel that breath all the way into the fingertips. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, both hands come down, and you'll step back all the way to plank here. Stepping back to plank, inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, whichever feels best. Inhale forwards to cobra or upward facing dog. Roll shoulders back. Exhale back to downward facing dog. All together, let's take an inhale here. Open the mouth, exhale, sigh out. Beautiful. Taking a few long, deep breaths. Let's come on to the other side. Inhale as your right foot steps between the hands. Exhale here. Let's rise all the way up. Find a high lunge. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, find your warrior two on the other side. So opening out through the hips, arms parallel with the ground. Press strong into the back edge of the back foot. Make sure that your front knee is aligned above your ankle. Draw up through the pelvic floor, finding your Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, lengthening through the spine. So beautiful. How can you occupy your space even more? How can you step up into your purpose, doing what it is that you came here to do on this earth, knowing that you deserve to take this space, you deserve to be here, you deserve to be powerful and strong. Last exhale here. Inhale, come all the way back, reverse warrior, right arm up into the air. And exhale here, come forward on your front knee slightly. Feeling all of life coming through you. All of the universe rising up to support you. One more inhale here. Exhale, come back into your warrior two. We'll prepare for triangle pose. Straighten your front leg. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, reach forward and down, Trikonasana. Keeping the hips open. And align the head with the spine. If it feels comfortable, take the gaze to the sky or just face forward. You can roll the left hip open. Feeling every single breath creating more space in the body. One more inhale here. Exhale, bring both hands down. We'll readjust, finding our pyramid pose here. So hands either side of your front foot. Step the back foot forward about a foot, a few inches. And straighten both legs, align both hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Parsvottanasana. Taking a few deep breaths. Ground both feet into the earth. From here, you can stay here if you're enjoying it. Otherwise, option to come into revolved triangle. So left hand on the inside on top of or outside your front foot. Right hand onto the sacrum. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, twist towards the right. Option if you like to reach that upper hand into the air, feeling your wings spread, feeling the essence of the condor, the eagle, all these beautiful big birds, all the hawks, pelicans, feeling what it is to soar through the air, feeling completely at peace. One more inhale, lift. Exhale, bring both hands down, step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. And now bend your knees, will come down into a little ball, wrap your arms around the legs and give yourself a hug. So keep your hips down on the ground. Beautiful. Take some deep breaths into your back body, into your wings. Take one last deep breath into the back body. Open the mouth, exhale it out. And now slowly bring the hands onto the ground, start to straighten out lift the hips up, straighten out through the legs and start to roll up vertebra by vertebra, rolling all the way up to stand. Roll the shoulders up to the ears and back. Beautiful. And we'll come into eagle pose here. So start to ground through your left foot and find a drishti, a gaze point in front of you that is unmoving, that you can focus on. And then start to lift your right leg up. Take an inhale here, squeeze it into your chest as you exhale. Now bend into your left knee and cross your right leg over the left, coming into your eagle. You can cross it once or twice. And now your right arm crosses underneath the left. Again, crossing once or twice, the backs or the fronts of the hands together. So bend into the knees. Beautiful. Now find your Mula Bandha, drawing up on the pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha, squeezing the core in. Lengthen the back of the neck, Jalandhara Bandha. And now squeeze the elbows together, squeeze the legs together, everything in towards the center, feeling that strength, feeling that compression, that contraction into the center. All of your power gathered in here. One more deep breath. And as you feel your next inhale coming, start to unwind your body, start to stand up, lift your right leg back behind you for angel pose, arms come out to the side, lifting the back toes slightly off the ground, everything expanding from contraction to expansion. Beautiful deep breaths, feeling that angelic, the lightness of your own being. One more inhale here. Keep your right leg lifted as you exhale. Again, come into contraction, fold forward, and lift the right leg up into the air for standing splits. So wherever it is, perfect. Start to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, engage your core and fold forward even more, lifting the right leg higher into the air. The more you engage your core in this pose, the more stable you'll be. Maybe you can bring one hand onto your ankle, or maybe even both, finding some balance here. Beautiful. Keep lifting that right leg up. One more inhale here. As you exhale, bring your right leg down, but cross it back behind your left leg. So crossing the right leg back behind the left. Release the arms, bring the hands onto the ground or onto your shins. Inhale, lengthen here, and exhale, forward fold with the legs crossed. Feeling into the sensation that you are experiencing. Use that sensation as a portal to go deeper into yourself. Uncross the legs. Come into a forward fold here. Bend your knees and slowly roll up to stand. Vertebra by vertebra. Roll the shoulders up and back. Find your center. Coming into the other side. Ground through the left foot. Start to bend the knees. Focus on your drishti, your gaze point. And then lift the left leg up. Take an inhale here. Squeeze it into your chest as you exhale. Now bend into your knee, crossing once or twice. And then your left arm comes underneath the right, crossing once or twice. Start to bend into the knees. Find Mula Bandha drawing up through the pelvic floor. Find Uddiyana Bandha drawing in through the abdomen, squeezing in, feeling that core engagement, feeling everything contracted. Squeeze your arms, squeeze your legs. Feel that intense focus, that deliberateness in your actions. Steady breath. Your breath is your anchor. Last exhale here. Inhale, unwinds the body. From contraction, we come to expansion, opening out, coming into angel pose, lifting the back leg up slightly, open through the chest, arms out to the side, really expanding into all corners of our space, feeling that breath as if we are flying on the breath, feeling the lift in the body. One more inhale here. Keep the left leg lifted as you exhale with control. Fold forward, coming into your standing split. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold forward over your standing leg, lifting the left leg up into the air. Use your core engagement to bring you closer to your standing leg. Maybe you can bring one hand onto your ankle or both. One more breath, lifting that leg up high as you can. Inhale here. And exhale, cross your left leg back behind your right, coming into forward fold with the legs crossed. Take an inhale here. And exhale, fold deeper. Feeling the subtle twist that's happening here, noticing the sensation that you're experiencing. Now uncross your legs. Take the hands to the ground and just shake through the legs, shaking them out. You can start to rise up to stand. Keep shaking. Shake your arms, shake your legs. Okay, take a couple minutes just to shake it out. Really just letting it go. Releasing the arms, releasing the legs. You can sway from side to side and allow the arms to flop from side to side, just taking out any tension that you have. And then allow the arms to really come out wide, really feeling that expansion. Shake, shake, shake. Exploring all the corners of your space, letting it go, letting it go. Opening out into your body, coming into whatever movement feels really nourishing for you right now. What's going to help create even more space in your body, space in your mind. Shake, 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 shake it out. And then take your last inhale here. And exhale, come to stillness. Notice that peace in the mind, the stillness in the body. Feel what it is to have space in yourself. And we'll come right into another round of Brahmari breath, the humming bee breath. And this time we will take 10 breaths. So this is our humming sound as we exhale. Option, if you like, to bring the thumbs to the ears, closing the ears, and we'll do this together. So inhale. Coming to the end of your last breath, releasing the hands down. Notice the effects of the breath, the way that that vibration clears the cobwebs, the way that when we come to pure vibration, we come to the thing that is shared by all of us. We are vibration. When we come back to this foundational state, we remember where we come from, we remember the source, and we allow it to come through us. Slowly open the eyes, taking in your surroundings. So to ground into your left foot, we'll step the right foot all the way back to the back of the mat and turn to face the right. So we'll come into a goddess pose towards the right. So the toes will point slightly out. Bend your knees here and track the knees over the toes. Take the arms out to the side. You can bend the elbows with the fingers pointed up to the sky. And then slight tuck of the tailbone as you draw up through your Mula Bandha, lengthening through the spine. Here, feeling that strength, feeling that power, feeling the expansion in your body. All of your cells illuminated with life force, illuminated with light. We'll exhale here together. And as we inhale, straighten the arms, straighten the legs, come into star pose, reaching out to all four corners of your space, really expanding as much as you can. Exhale here, holding it. Inhale again, reaching out. You can even open the mouth, stretch out the jaw. As you exhale, bend your knees, come back into your goddess pose. Bending knees and elbows. We'll do a few repetitions of this. Inhale as you open up into star. Expand out. Open, open, open. Exhale, bending knees, elbows, goddess, contracting into the center. Inhale, reaching up and out. Expand, expand. Exhale, bending knees and elbows, contracting. Inhale, one more time, reaching out. Exhale into your goddess. This time we'll hold it here. You can take the hands to the knees if you like. And then you can take turns to dip one shoulder and then the other into the center, opening out into your shoulders, opening the front of the chest. And then once you're even on both sides, we'll come right into a full wide-legged forward fold. So exhale as you fold down. You can readjust your feet so the outsides of your feet are parallel, toes ever so slightly pointing inwards. Engage through the front of the thighs, releasing the back of the thighs. Take an inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold here. Option to bring the hands to the ankles or walk them through the legs or even interlace them back behind you, whichever feels best for you right now. If the hands are back behind you, bring them to the ground. And then we'll bend into the right knee and shift the weight over towards the right as you lift the left toes up, coming into skater pose. And shifting your weight over to one side, toes coming up, opening out into the hips. As you inhale, straighten both legs, coming back into your wide-legged forward fold. As you exhale, bend into the other knee, lifting your left toes up. And then some time for free movement. Shift your weight from side to side. Opening into the inner thighs here. Beautiful. And then we'll meet in our wide-legged forward fold. Let's walk the hands back to the front of the mat. So walking them to the left, all the way to the front of the mat. And we'll find our way back to downward facing dog. Walk the hands forward, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. And then lower your knees, come into child's pose. You can take the knees out wide, bring the arms out in front. Full rest here. Relaxing through the hips. On an inhale, walk your hands all the way over towards the right. And as you exhale, melt the heart down, coming into a side stretch for the left side. Breathe into your left lung, breathing into the space between the ribs. Last exhale here. Inhale, coming back to center. And exhale, walk the hands all the way over towards the left side, melting the heart down with an exhale. Breathe into your right lung, breathe into the space between the ribs. Last exhale here. Inhale, come back to center. Come up onto the hands and come into your tabletop position. Bring the knees in under the hips, in line with the hips. Now walk your hands as far forward as you can, all the way past the front of the mat. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, melt the heart down for puppy pose. Arching the back, pressing the hands into the ground, opening up through the shoulders. The forehead or the chin comes onto the ground. Feel how your breath is creating space in the body. And the more space you create physically, the more space you create mentally. And the more clear you are to receive spirit, to feel that life force flowing through you. Last exhale, breathe it into the ground. And as you inhale, start to walk your hands back up, back into your tabletop position. As you exhale, sink the hips back down into child's pose, Balasana. And this time bring your hands back behind you. Just give the shoulders a little bit of a rest here. Deep breath. Slowly release your arms. We're going to come into progressions towards headstand. So wherever you are in your practice of headstand, it's just perfect. We'll give you lots of places to stop on the way. You can take your gaze forward, bring your hands in front of you, and bring your elbows onto the ground. You can wrap your arms around the outside of your elbows, measuring the distance between them. And then keep the elbows where they are, release the hands, interlace them in front of you. Interlace the hands. Now place the crown of the head on the ground just in front of the hands so that the hands cradle the back of the head, and press really strong into your forearms. From here you could stay right here, or you can tuck your toes, lift the hips up. Again, stay right here if you feel good. If it feels possible, then you can straighten the legs. And then start to walk the feet up towards the face. Again, stay here, keep pressing into the forearms. If you would like to, maybe lift one leg up into the air. Maybe lift both legs up into the air. Wherever you are, you're coming into your version of headstand, continuing to press into the forearms. If you're in your full headstand, come down. And then we'll lower the knees down. You can roll out the back of the neck by coming forward on the crown of the head, stretching out the back of the neck a little bit, and then coming into your child's pose. Now slowly start to rise up, coming up onto the knees. Align the knees hip distance apart, and we'll prepare for our camel pose. So you can lift the upper body up, so you're kneeling up, and then lift up so you bring your hands on the lower back. Now inhale, lift up through the spine, and exhale, leaning back. Hands press into your sacrum for support. Shoulders and elbows roll back. Keep squeezing up through your lower abdomen, supporting you here. If it's available to you, maybe take the hands to the backs of the heels. Giving yourself some support here. And now notice your breath. Your breath is expanding, creating space through the whole of the breastbone, the sternum, all the space between the ribs, the front of the chest, the space in the front of the neck. One more breath here. Bring your hands back to the sacrum. On an inhale, coming all the way up, chin is the last thing to come. And exhale here. Take a few moments for your spine to relax here. And then we'll sit back on our heels and shift the legs to one side, hips to the other side, and bring the legs around in front of us. Now from here we'll come into a twist. So you can bend your right leg over the left, grounding through the sole of the foot. Keep your left leg straight and press into the ground. Your right hand comes back behind you, acting like a second spine behind you. On an inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. And exhale, twist towards the right, elbow to the outside of your knee. So straighten your spine so it's vertical here. Beautiful. So finding a twist that feels good. Maybe your left hand can come onto the outside of your right knee, giving you a little bit of pressure there. Keeping it straight, lifting up. Every inhale, lengthen through the spine. And every exhale, twist. Grounding through the sits bones. Deep breaths into the belly. Last exhale here. Inhale, coming back to center. Let's spiral all the way around. And exhale as you take a counter pose to the other side. And come back to center. We will come into a stacked fire log position here. So 2 options. You can keep left leg straightened while your right knee bends, and you place the outside of your right foot above the left knee. Flex your right foot. Or if it's available to you, bend both knees and stack the legs one on top of another so that the shins are parallel. Wherever you are is perfect. Just stay right there. Now inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold forwards. Opening into the outsides of the hips here. As we wind down our practice, you can feel everything start to slow down. Notice your mind. Notice where your thoughts are going. Draw them back to your breath. Consciously send a breath to wherever it is that you're feeling sensation right now. And as you inhale, you're breathing in life force, sending it to that sensation. As you exhale, you release. Start to come out of the pose here, rising up. And straighten both legs out in front of you and just shake them out. And come into the other side, bend your left knee, cross it over the right, and ground through the sole of the foot, coming into our twist. Sole of the foot on the ground, knee up to the sky. Left hand comes behind, acting like a second spine. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine, and exhale as you twist towards the left. Your right elbow can come to the outside of the knee, just giving you a little pressure. The twist here is coming from your center, coming from your core. So rather than forcing ourselves around, we just gently use those core muscles to turn and squeeze out our center. Notice how that breath feels in the belly. Feel how you're purifying, opening, surrendering. Last exhale here. On an inhale, unwind your body. And come all the way to the other side for a counter pose. Pausing here. And come back to center. And from here we go into our options for stacked fire log. First option, to keep your right leg straight. Your left ankle on the above the right knee. Flex your left foot. And then the second option, you can bend your right leg and then stack the shins so they're parallel with one another, flexing both feet. Wherever you are, inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forwards. Full release, giving yourself to this posture, to this moment, to this breath. Feeling the peace of just being with yourself. For our last breath, let's inhale, breathing in that light, sending that light, that breath to your sensation that you feel, and exhale fully, letting it go. On your next inhale, start to rise up and out of the pose. And exhale here. You can unwind the legs. Shift yourself forward on the mat slightly. And bend your knees, soles of the feet on the ground. And shift yourself forward. Bring the arms out in front of you. And now slowly lay yourself down on the mat, vertebra by vertebra. Bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a hug. We have one final pose, happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana. Bring your feet up into the air, hold on to the outsides or the insides of the feet, keeping the knees bent. Align your ankles right above the knees. Then see if you can lay the full length of your spine down onto the ground. If it feels good, maybe you can straighten one leg and then the other, feeling into this space, expanding your body limb by limb. Moving as if you were in water, moving as if you were in honey, slowly, mindfully. And we can release the feet, bring the knees back into the chest. Give yourself one final hug. Just bring the forehead up to the knees. Wrap the arms around, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything in. Scrunch up the face into the center. Engage all your muscles, squeeze everything. Take an inhale here. And exhale, release. Coming into your final Shavasana pose. Straighten the legs out wide, arms out either side, palms face up. And shake the legs a little bit to release the hips. And then come to stillness. Seek out your breath. Feeling all the sensations of the breath. up and I go out and meet myself, and I have a conversation. Yeah, I'm speaking to her, and the wind and the rain rise into it all again. Dive down deep inside myself, and I go into the space between. Go into the space between. Blessed may we be, blessed may we be. There is nothing more than this. Thankful may we be, thankful may we be. There is nothing sweeter than this here now. Om Bhurva Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurva Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. 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 There's a certain feeling when I let myself be. Let the sky and the earth have a good look at me. Ooh, let it go. Let myself be free, free. Deep in the space between us. Deep in the space between. Om Bhurva Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurva Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Deep in the space between us. Deep in the space between. Blessed may we be, blessed may we be. There is nothing more than this. Thankful may we be, thankful may we be. There is nothing sweeter than this here now. Blessed may we be, blessed may we be. There is nothing more than this. Thankful may we be, thankful may we be. There is nothing sweeter than this here now. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Another deep breath in, noticing the pause at the top of the breath, a moment of stillness, and exhale, releasing it out, savoring these last moments of lying here on the floor. Your body completely at rest, mind centered, your spirit expanding. And then start to bring some movement into your hands and your feet, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Bring the arms up above the head and take a full body stretch. Reaching all the way from fingertips to toes, creating space in all of your joints. Then bring your knees into the chest, wrap your arms around the legs, give yourself a hug. And perhaps in this moment, resolving, setting intention to rise up, to expand into your fullest self, to rise above whatever is in your way, to soar. To know that you deserve to occupy this space because you have your own very unique purpose that no one else has. And the world needs us to rise up, to expand into that purpose. And start to rock and roll up to seated or roll onto one side, whichever feels best. Taking a couple more breaths and meeting in a seated position. Preparing to close our space together in the spirit of light. Feeling our full illuminated selves here. Every single breath like light infusing us with more life force, more aliveness. Take the arms out to the sides and up above the head, closing our space. Press the palms together and exhale the hands into heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale for Om. You are pure, indivisible consciousness. You are a light being. You are living your highest potential. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.